Hey, welcome, kings and queens. Today we are back, y'all, and I just had to spin the block when it comes to this Christian Keys saga. He has gone stone cold Steve Austin silent since he hit us with that whammy this past weekend, giving hell of a hints, strong insinuations of the predators that he claimed to have sexually harassed him and in the Hollywood industry, right? And ever since then, we've been waiting. All of us have been waiting. I'm not going to say patiently, but we've been waiting for Christian to put a name on it. Some people have come out and they feel like that's highly irresponsible for him to come out with such dynamic detail, right? Only to fail to provide a name so that guilty parties, not guilty, I'm sorry, innocent parties are excluded. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real. In my opinion, and let me strongly say my opinion, because I feel like some of you come to hear what you want to hear and you fail to hear the disclaimers that are put out when I strongly say, in my opinion. I'm putting disclaimer on it. Now, let me get back to it. In my opinion, I believe that Christian Keys just got paid. Hey, Friday night. I think he got his money. I think he's gotten his money and he is out of here. And I don't believe that he will be saying anything else as it relates to this. I believe he got paid maybe 48 to 72 hours after he came out with his live confession. Since then, many folks have had a lot to say, including Funky Dineva. Let's talk about it. For those of you who are just tuned in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now.
All right, so Funky Dineva actually came out with the video on yesterday. You can go to his page and watch the video, and basically he confirmed. He said, "I know who it is. I'm in Atlanta. I know who this person is, this billionaire that Christian Keys is talking about, and I do believe that what he's saying is true. True. However, I have some questions, and I also believe that he played a part in this." And towards the end of the video, he also confirmed. He said he put out some very, meaning Christian, put out some very strong hints. And Funky Dineva said, "The person that you all think it is, it's him." Okay. Okay. And he just shook his head, yes. So I continue to stand on my previous video that I did regarding Christian Keys exposing the dark underbelly of Hollywood. And we did a list and we implemented a process of elimination. And we got the list from 2023. There were 9 billionaires. Oprah was the only female listed. Now, a lot of you said, "Hey, listen, you missed one." No, I did miss one. And that's why I tell you all, you got to really pause and listen. What I said in that video is, in this video, I am only focusing on the main one. I know there was 2 that he mentioned, but for the purpose of that video, I was focusing on the main one. Now, if he comes out and gives more clues regarding the second predator, I will come back. So I didn't miss anybody. I just wanted to focus on the one where he presented very strong evidence about who it could possibly be. Okay. And we ran that down. Now, Funky Dineva had really strong opinions about what he believed to have been Christian's involvement in the behavior that was displayed towards him from the predators, the billionaire predator. And I'm not so sure that I agree with everything that Funky Dineva had to say. We're going to run down some of the key bullet items that he presented, and then we're going to talk about them. So the first thing that Funky Dineva shared in his video is he said he's side-eyeing the situation that Christian Keys presented before us on last weekend. And how convenient is it for you to come out with your story at this time? He said he was kind of scratching his head because, and I'm paraphrasing, okay? He said that he feels like it's so convenient just off the back in the trail of Cassie's claims of sexual assault regarding what P. Diddy exposed her to for a number of years. So he feels like, could this be a possible money grab? And I got to push back a little bit because I feel like it's a perfect time for Christian to come out because there is a dialogue happening right here, right now, in real time. And I think when you think about reading the room and testing the temperature, people are open. Okay. Cassie opened the door. Actually, I can't really say Cassie opened the door. Women have been saying for years and years about the abuse that occurs in the music industry and also the Hollywood industry. But it just so happens that Cassie's timing was perfect and people were open with empathy and sympathy to receive her story. So I think it's perfect timing for him. Okay. And maybe he does want to get paid. Maybe this billionaire predator did impact his work. He said he allowed the statute of limitation to run out on purpose. But do you feel like, as the audience, that it's wrong for Christian Keyes to reap any financial benefit from what he claims happened to him by the billionaires in the Hollywood industry? Especially if this person, this predator, blocked his potential to work. What are your thoughts on that? The second thing Funky Dineva confirmed is that the person is Black. So we knew that over here because we presented a list of the 9 Black billionaires on the list for 2023. Now, it used to be 17, you all, but because I know a lot of you saying, what about this person? What about that person? Maybe they were billionaires in the past, but what happens is if your assets fall below the billionaire status, they remove you from the list. So that's why you did not see me present the names that you called out because it may not be relevant for 2023. Okay. We do know it's a Black male that's preying on young Black males. And I find it very odd that Tyler Perry would build his production studio in a very low income Black neighborhood. Okay. I found that very odd because you know what? Never mind. Let's move on from there. I'm going to keep that to myself. Anywho, point number 3 that Funky Dineva presented is um, he insinuate that there could or there may have been a possibility um, that the billionaire received a green light from Christian, that Christian may have been open, okay, or encouraged him, the other party, or sent some type of signal to the other party by way of the predator that, hey, I'm down for whatever. Okay. I'm going to say stop it. I call Cap. Stop it, Funky Dineva. Let me say something. Number one, I don't care if Christian may have looked at him too long, stared in his eyes too long. It doesn't give that person the right to place him under duress regarding his work environment. This is where it becomes wrong because it's directly attached to his employment. That's illegal. You can't do that. Now, if it was outside of work, we may be having a different narrative or a different dialogue. But the fact that it was directly related to work, I don't care if he's gay, I don't care if he's straight, heterosexual, it doesn't matter. When it comes to corporate work environment, it's unethical. Even if Kristen was arms wide open, because you are in a position of power and because you can influence his potential to work, that's a no go item. You cannot be messing around and fraternizing with your subordinates. Does that make sense? So I'm a call Cap. I don't care. And just because, how do I want to say this? Funky Dineva says that a lot of individuals with the like Christian Keys and women too, they utilize their beauty as a currency, and they utilize it, they leverage it to get what they want. Everybody does. And it's not specific to beauty. We use what we got to get to where we need to go, whether it's beauty, whether it's athleticism, whether it's intellect, whether it's spirituality. We all use it to enhance our journey. Where it becomes a problem is where you become a predator. So we cannot, we can. I think it's wrong to chastise him because he's a beautiful man. Okay. The point is, the billionaire in question utilized his power and his financial assets to take advantage of a situation that's deemed unethical. Okay. The predator, the billionaire, used his position and his currency to prey on his insubordinates, on his subordinates. Um, and that's just wrong. So yeah, I wanted to say that. Like, let's not make Christian the bad guy in all of this. Even if he agreed to be in a full blown relationship, it's still your responsibility as the head to resist, to not get involved. Does that make sense? I want to say this. If Christian Keys wanted to rumble with the man, let's just say, because everybody, I've seen a lot of derogatory comments coming at him, like from Bobby Lyles that says, "We knew you was one of the girls, so now we're outing men that don't want to be outed." I'm not even sure if he is one of the girls, but the point is, he said he's not. Both men and women possess masculine and feminine qualities. Now, in other races, we can see men possess a little bit of femininity and feminine qualities, and that's perfectly acceptable, without them being or having being deemed or labeled as gay. I feel like we so hard on each other in the Black community because as soon as a man shows a little hint of femininity, and I'm not talking about no BANs. I'm not talking about BANs, men that are just sassy by nature. And that has nothing to do with your sexual orientation. There are some men that claim to be masculine men, heterosexual men, and you're sassy. You all up in women's business. You like to pick on women, blah, blah, blah. Let's just say Christian Keys have had a few encounters with men. He still possessed the freedom to choose the person of his liking. Just because you can sense a little bit of this or a little bit of that in a person doesn't give you the right to impose your sexual will on that person. They have a right to reject you. And I think that's what you're forgetting, Funky Dineva. He has every right to pick and choose whom he would like to be attached to sexually. Hell, maybe 2 years ago in 2005, 3 years ago, whatever. It was men. Maybe this is all alleged, y'all. I don't know because a lot of black gay men are coming out to say, nah, whatever, you're gay. We've been knowing that. Or we've been knowing that you like men or you've been with men and you're just a down low brother. Okay. He still has a right to reject advances from those that he does not want to be involved with. What are your thoughts on that? A billionaire, just because you have money, just because you're in a position of power to call shots, that does not give you the right to impose your sexual will on anyone because you picking up a vibe or because, and we can switch it and put a woman in this position. Just because a woman is wearing something and you picking up on a vibe that you feel like she a hoe does not give you a right to violate her. You get what I'm saying? It works hand in hand. Yeah, let the vibe be a vibe and move the hell along. You can admire it from a distance, but where you get into trouble is where you decide because I am who I say I am or who I think I am, and you've bought into your own hoopla, you decide you're about to prey on the weak. And when I say weak, y'all, they prey on the financially weak. They don't try that shit with their equal counterparts. They prey on people who they feel like need them by way of finances, whether that's an opportunity for a role, a job, a position, a status, whatever it is. Okay. And I feel like Funky Dineva doubled down on his thoughts regarding what part did Christian Keys actually play in the unwarranted behavior that he claims that this predator inflicted upon him. And Funky Dineva says that he feels like maybe Christian Keys could have been so desperate for fame. I told y'all a long time ago, fame is a hell of a drug. He said, could it be that Christian Keys could have been so desperate for fame that the predator sniffed it out as a weakness? And maybe that's why there were repeat offenses and repeat advances. I wouldn't give a damn if he's desperate for food. Listen, we all have been in a position where we're desperate for a promotion. We're hoping for a promotion. And I hate to use the word desperate because at some point in time, when you feel like you've put in the work and you've done your due diligence, you're saying, you can ask any Black woman or man in corporate America to say, wait a minute, I should have been promoted a long time ago. And they interview and they try out for a different position. And are they desperate? I don't know if I would say desperate, but they're damn sure hoping that they get chosen based on the work and the sweat equity that they've poured in. That does not give the interviewer, the executive leader, a right to exploit the need of promotion to get what they need from you sexually. So I'm going to push back on that, Funky Dineva, and I'm going to call cab. And I also question, what issue do you take up with Christian? Is it because he's beautiful? And the reason why I say that, because I feel like Funky Dineva has gone through a lot. You really talk about things when it comes to individuals that are, it feels extremely personal. When it came to Chloe Bailey, you said she wasn't really that good looking. Christian Keyes, maybe you shame, you do a lot of shaming a lot. And from a psychological perspective, I'm only saying this just from a dialogue standpoint, opening up the dialogue. I wonder if you were shamed when you were younger. Because I noticed in your commentary, in his commentary, he mentioned that as a gay male, you find yourself having to adapt. You know, you become more masculine, or you kind of, when you're around straight men and he's found himself having to adapt based on his experience. I don't doubt that. But y'all, we have to leave room for others to be able to have their experience without us discounting that because of what we know to be our norm or what we've experienced. Okay? We're all different. We're all different. And then the last thing that Funky Dineva said, he takes issue with Christian Keyes dragging this thing out. You know what? I have to agree with you. I do have to agree with you. I think it was a very bold and brave move. Now, just because I agree, y'all, that don't mean I'm right. This is just my opinion. I think it was a very brave and bold move. However, I think you got to wrap this thing up. Christian Keyes, you got to wrap it up. Funky Dineva, as I said earlier when I started this commentary, he pretty much confirmed it is whom we think it is. And there you have it. What are your thoughts? Let's take it to the chat.
What filmmaker has had 5 movies open #1 at the box office in the last 4 years? Spielberg? Tarantino? Scorsese? No. This record belongs to Tyler Perry.
How do you feel right now, sir?
My problem with a lot of things in life is I float above it. That's just from childhood, that's from abuse. So every moment's like, you're okay, you're safe. It's just emotion, it's just feeling, it's love.
Emmett Perry Jr. was his birth name. He changed his name to Tyler Perry because he had an estranged relationship with his dad.
I just could not understand how this man could look at me and hate me with such passion.
He had some horrific experiences that ultimately led to the characters he created and the imagination that he had.
We were so broke. We used to share burgers and talk about these great dreams that he had.
I had all these people tell me what I would never be. Nobody said what I could be.
The thing that's amazing about Tyler is he broke every rule.